Hello, my fellow adventurers, and welcome back to the Living in Muchness podcast. I am your muchness host, Glenn Agoncillo, and I am so grateful that you've chosen to spend this moment with me today, right now. We are deep in our 6-day mantra series. And if you've been with me for the first 3, I invite you to take a second to feel into your body right now. Are you starting to notice that spark returning? And are you starting to feel your muchness possibly? If this is your first time tuning in, welcome. This is a sanctuary from the outside noise. You don't need to do anything or fix anything or buy anything here. You just need to be. This is not only a safe space, it's a brave space for you to just be you. Today, we arrive at the 4th pillar of our practice. And this mantra is the one that arguably saved my life when I felt I was losing my way. Mantra number 4 goes, everything that I need is within my breath. Everything that I need is within my breath. I want you to let those words sit in the air for a moment. Everything I need. Not just some things, not the basics. Everything. And as you hear me say that, I invite us to actually take one of those needs right now. Okay? Just take one deep, conscious inhale. Feel the air enter. Then exhale. Feel it leave. That right there, that's our survival. That's our power, our peace. All wrapped into one silent, magical rhythm. Yeah. Now, I know what some of you are thinking. Glenn, that sounds a bit too simple. But really, in the world we live in today, this mantra is a radical act of rebellion. We're living in the never enough industrial complex. We're bombarded by billion-dollar industries designed to make us believe that we are never enough. Never thin enough, never successful enough, never rich enough. We literally are taught to look out there for our worth. We're talking about the likes, the loves, the thumbs up, the claps. And when you look at the world and say, actually, my breath is my abundance, you are protesting against the pressure to overspend, the pressure to perform, the pressure to scroll until your mind is numb. It is a declaration of independence from the want culture. If you remember that example I shared with you in the previous episodes, I talked about the Mad Hatter telling Alice and how she lost her muchness. You see, he wasn't talking about her losing her money or her status. He was talking about her losing her spark. that internal confidence that says, I am here. We often think we need like this complicated mask or like a spiritual retreat to find that spark again. But the secret is that the spark is fueled by the oxygen we are breathing right now. Your breath is the most abundant, believe it or not, radical and spiritual tool you own. It is the biological proof that you are worthy of being alive. Today, we're going to talk about how I learned that the hard way and how you can use it to stop the survival cycle and start living in your full spectrum of muchness. Let's go back for a second to a version of Glenn that some of you might recognize in yourselves. I call it my corporate baddie era. Yep, my corporate baddie era. For over 30 years, I was killing it. Okay, I literally was killing it. Or at least that's what the spreadsheet said. Back then, I didn't just want the VP title or the designer outfits or that really fancy luxury car. I believe that I needed them. My brain had convinced my nervous system that if I didn't have the corner office or the external validation of a high status meeting, that I wouldn't survive. I was living in a state of high-speed survival. I thought the luxury car was my armor. I thought my designer outfit was my skin. I had successfully mislabeled every want as a life or death need. And when you live like that, you are constantly out of breath because you're running a race that has no finish line. In fact, in the beginning, actually, like when I look back, I actually didn't love the clothes I was wearing back then. I was dressing up for others rather than for me. Then came the moment, that pivotal shift I've talked about before, when I said goodbye to that world. When I closed my office door and I stripped away my title, and when my baddie persona no longer had a stage to perform on. I remember sitting in the silence of that transition, feeling my panic rise. I thought, Glenn, who are you without the noise? But in that panic, something happened. I took a deep breath, and another, and another, and another, and another, and another. And I realized that despite losing the structures I thought were keeping me alive, I was still breathing. I was still breathing. The fancy and luxury cars, and boy, did I have a lot of cars. Oh my God. When I look back in a scope of 30 years, I had over 12 or 15 cars. It's kind of scary. Like, yeah, that's actually a lot. Okay, that's a little scary. That when they were all gone, the title was gone, the validation was gone, but the air in my lungs, my breath, was still there. It was the first time I realized that survival isn't found in the paycheck that I was bringing home or a status symbol. That survival is found in the simple, quiet rhythm of my lungs, my chest, that I was still whole, even when I was empty of the things I thought I needed. Now, why do I do this? Why do I spend the money on things I don't need just to impress people? It's because I was using want to mask a deep, primal fear. I was afraid that my basic needs, the needs to be seen, the need to be safe, the need to be loved, won't be met. So I tried to over insure my life with material things. Okay, that's actually kind of funny. I just had this thought that for 30 years I was in the insurance industry, and here I was. I tried to over insure, oh my goodness, my life with material things. I thought that if I had the shiny car, sure, I'll be safe. If I had the designer handbags and outfit, sure, I'll be seen. But the gap between need and want is exactly where we lose our muchness. I lost my muchness. When we realize that our most fundamental need, life itself, is being provided every single second throughout our breath, the fear starts to fade away and dissolve. We realize we don't have to earn our right to exist because we're already doing it, one exhale at a time. I want to introduce you to a concept I learned from my special moments with Dr. Gay Hendricks called the upper limit problem. Gay suggests that we all have this internal thermostat, that's what he calls it, for how much success, love, and celebration we allow ourselves to feel. Yeah. Have you ever noticed that when things are going too well, maybe you just got a promotion or a great piece of news, you suddenly feel the surge of anxiety? I know that feeling. There were times, like during those moments, that I felt like I wasn't worthy to experience them or I didn't deserve to experience them. Gay points out that in those moments, we actually often stop breathing, that we take shallow survival breaths because we've hit our upper limit of joy and happiness. He also taught me that the way to move through that ceiling is to breathe. Is to breathe. By consciously taking deep breaths when I feel too good, I'm telling my body, Glenn, you are safe to expand. Glenn, now listen up. You deserve to experience, to bask, to luxuriate in this muchness. There's this thing that Gay does that when he is experiencing all this joy and happiness and love and just wonder, he stretches out his arms and he does this thing and he just goes and says and screams it out loud like, yes, 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 yes. Yeah, so let's do that. Go ahead and stretch your arms as far out as you can and raise your head up to the sky and just say, yes, 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 yes. Ah. I feel great. Whew, I should do that more often. Yeah. Now, right there, breath isn't just for survival. It's it's actually like the tool we use to grow our capacity for happiness, to be present, to celebrate the now. And speaking of the now, the Dalai Lama often speaks about breath as a bridge, that it is literally a connection between the mind and the body. Now, let's think about this, okay? Your mind can be in the past, right? Dwelling on mistakes, figuring out what went wrong, or in the future, worrying about bills. But your breath is only ever in the now. Isn't that crazy? Yeah, like the Dalai Lama reminds us that internal peace isn't something we go out and find, that it's actually something we tune into. That when we return to the breath, we're crossing that bridge back into our bodies. That we are returning to the only moment where muchness actually exists, the present. In many spiritual traditions, the word breath and spirit are the same. To breathe is to be in spirit. When I say everything I need is within my breath, I'm essentially saying to myself, Glenn, I am at home with my own spirit. I am at home with my own spirit. Now, let's look at this metaphorically, okay? We all agree that breath is enough to keep us alive, that without it, nothing else matters. So, I have to ask you, and I'm also asking myself this too. If the breath is enough to keep me alive, then why do I need to believe, or why do I believe it isn't enough to feel worthy? Why is it not enough for me to feel worthy, to be valued? I feel that this is the trap of the ego, where our egos tell us we need the want, the accolades, the perfect house, the social media followers to be worthy of respect. But the universe already has voted on our worthiness. I mean, it gave us life and it gave us the air, our lungs, our bodies. You don't have to earn your breath. It is a gift given to you freely from the moment you are born. If the most essential thing you need for survival is a free gift, perhaps your worthiness is a free gift too. You are breathing, therefore, you are enough. That, I feel, is the ultimate muchness. Society doesn't make it easy for any of us. I mean, it doesn't for me. Let's talk about the screens, okay? When I say screens, I'm talking about our phones, our tablets, our computers. We are the glued generation. Have you ever caught your reflection? I'm laughing because, oh my God, I just caught myself doing this the other day. Have you ever caught your reflection in your phone while you're scrolling? I mean, that blank stare, the slightly hunched shoulders, ugh. And most importantly, I noticed like shallow breathing. That's what I do. I was like on my phone, just like scrolling like this. And yeah, like a total zombie. Social media is a want machine. I love social media, and I know that it is also a want machine. It literally is designed to keep us in a dopamine loop. I was reading about that. There's like this Stanford research on how um like our phones and all these different social media platforms, um it's literally keeping us in this loop where we're always seeking for that hit, that dopamine hit. We see a curated life where, a perfect body or a luxury vacation that's very popular. And our brain says, I need that to be happy. That we are literally scrolling away our muchness, looking for validation in a like from people we know. In fact, including strangers. And notice how you breathe when you scroll. It's rapid, it's agitated. You are literally breathing in a state of lack. You are breathing as if you are hunting for something that isn't there. We've confused muchness with moreness. We think that if we just buy that one next thing, the new gadget, the new viral skincare line, the new designer shoes, that all of this anxiety that I'm experiencing will stop. But overspending is often just a physical attempt to fill a profound spiritual void. We buy the want. We get that 5-minute high, and then we're left with a bill. And the same empty feeling. Why? Because we can't fill an internal hole with external objects. Consumerism thrives in our belief that we are incomplete without its products. I want to share a specific moment from my own personal life where this hits home. I was in my 30s and I was so obsessed with proving to the world that I needed a ginormous beach house while driving fancy cars. And I was also in a relationship that looked great on paper. We're talking about two successful men here. I think at one point we were called DINKS, DINKS. And that stood for dual income, no kids. I mean, we were rolling. I was rolling. Sounds great, right? You're probably thinking, Glenn, what the hell is wrong with you? You see, my life didn't have any purpose during that time. Like, it didn't have any meaning. I allowed my external world to identify who I was. My beach house felt like a museum, and my loved ones didn't even want to visit because they felt so uncomfortable in my home. I was even uncomfortable in my own home. I had convinced myself that if I didn't get those things, my entire world would fall apart. I felt like I needed it for survival. I was losing sleep. I was snapping at my loved ones. I was working long hours at night in the office. I was not going on vacations, or if I did go on a vacation, I would literally have my laptop with me working. So there was no personal time, and my body was tight with stress. During that time, I also lost my childhood best friend. She literally was my ride or die. I felt so alone and so isolated, empty in my own freaking castle. And then I also realized that my muchness did not match my external expression. So I ended my previous relationship that was sucking out my muchness and decided to heal my unresolved childhood trauma around scarcity by not having enough. I asked myself, Glenn, are you being fully authentic? Are you marching to the beat of your own drum? So I closed my eyes and took one long, deep breath. And in that silence, the truth hit me. If I lost all of this, I'm still breathing. My heart is still beating. I'm still Glenn. Returning to my breath didn't make the want go away, but it took away the power. It took away its power. Just taking a moment here. It took away its power to destroy my peace. I realized the win was a bonus, but my breath was the prize. I walked out of there not thirsty for validation, but as a person anchored in my own muchness. We've covered a lot today, from the illusions of my past to the wisdom of Dr. Gay Hendricks and the Dalai Lama. But now I want to bring this home to you. I want to invite you into what I call the full spectrum of this experience. As you look at your own lives, some discomfort might, they will bubble up. You might feel a sting of realization about that money you spent or that time you wasted scrolling, and that's okay. Muchness isn't just about the happy feelings. It's about being open to the full spectrum of your truth. Don't judge the discomfort. Just breathe into it. So, I'm going to be sharing 3 questions. So, we can call this first one would be the survival reality check. So, I want you to close your eyes if you're in a safe place to do so. If not, just soften your gaze. For those of you who are driving while listening to this, please do not close your eyes. Just go ahead and soften your gaze and ask yourself, in this exact moment, if everything you owned was stripped away, your home, your bank account, your job title, what does your breath tell you about your survival? Listen to the answer your body gives you. Not your brain, okay, but your body. Your breath is still flowing. Your heart is still beating. In the absolute absence of stuff, you are still living You are a breathing miracle. You are surviving without the extras. Let that sink in. Now, let's look at your daily pace. Question number 2. Where in your life are you holding breath in hopes of attaining a want? Think about that one goal, that one purchase, or that one person's approval you're chasing. Are you literally tensing your chest when you think about it? Are you waiting to breathe until you get it? And if you are, you've mislabeled a want as a need. You're trading your actual life force for possibility. Is it worth the trade? Is it worth it? Finally, let's look at the source of your attention by asking you the final question. What would muchness feel like if you stopped looking at the screen, like your phone, your tablet, your computer, and started listening to your body, your lungs, your breath? You see, the screen tells you what you're missing. Your body, your breath, your lungs tell you what you have. One leads to a hollow moreness. The other leads to a sacred muchness. Imagine walking through your day, not looking for the next dopamine hit, but feeling the constant rhythmic support of your own breath and how much lighter your shoulders feel. My beautiful, radiant muchness friends, the world you're about to step back into, it's loud. It is thirsty for your attention. It is a 24/7 carnival of noise designed to make you feel small so it can sell you large, okay? But you are walking out of this sanctuary with a secret weapon, okay? This week, when the FOMO starts creeping in and knocking on your door, when the social media scroll starts stealing your joy, or when that corporate baddie pressure starts tightening your chest, I want you to take out your secret weapon, your mantra number 4. Speak it out loud and shout it if you have to. Everything that I need is within my breath. I challenge you to use this mantra as your filter. So before you click add to cart, take a breath. Before you say yes to a project that drains your soul, take a breath. If you can't breathe through it, you don't need it. Protect your peace like it's the last gold on earth, because honey, it is. Knowing the difference between a need and a want isn't just some clever psychological hack. It is the throne of your power. When you stop being a slave to your wants, you become the master of your muchness. Every time you choose your breath over a status symbol, you are getting your spark back. You are living in your muchness by the second. You're realizing that muchness, the Mad Hatter talked about, wasn't something Alice had to go buy at a shop in Wonderland. It was the fierce, undeniable confidence that Alice had all along, that she was already whole. So, you are not a project to be finished. You are definitely not a consumer to be harvested, because you are a living, breathing symphony of biology and spirit. You are enough because you are breathing. Period. End of story. Mic drop. You are whole just the way you are. You are beautiful just the way you are. Yeah, so I'll end it at that. I am beautiful just the way I am. Let that be the mantra added to everything that I need is within my breath. So next week, I'll be sharing the 5th mantra that I tell myself every day. Thank you for letting me be in your ears, in your hearts, and into your lives today. If this episode stirred something in you, please share that spark with me. Post it in the comments. Yeah, like I would love to hear comments, feedback from you folks. And if you feel that there's a special someone that needs this reminder, please go ahead and share this episode to that special person. I am so proud of the version of you that just showed up today. In fact, let me rewind that. Take a moment and be proud of you. Carry that breath. Carry that fire. Until next time, my fellow muchness adventurers, breathe deep and live in muchness. I'll see you in the next episode. Bye.